From a young age, social interaction becomes extremely important. Like the majority of Americans, I went to a public school. I started in kindergarten and can remember that being well liked by my peers was really important to me. It meant you had someone to talk to during lunchtime, friends to do projects with, and someone to run around the playground with. It bred a need for acceptance and dependence on others' view of you because at that age, as fickle as children are, if one kid didn't like you, it quickly spread, ostracizing anyone who was different or awkward. But it wasn't quantifiable. It wasn't anything you could put a number on. You didn't get points for having the most friends, though it certainly felt like it, and we all knew who the popular kids were. Unlike achievements in the classroom, I think we all remember those charts at the front of the class, the ones with the little stars or stickers that you earned every time that you either reached a milestone or did something noteworthy in class. You were rewarded for seemingly small things, but it filled you with a sense of pride to have that sticker next to your name for the whole class to see. Who didn't want to have the most stars? It made you feel like the smartest and coolest kid in class. And then there was show and tell. I mean, how cool was that day? You brought in anything you had from home, a pet, a toy, some old thing from your parents or grandparents, a picture, a rock, and you had the floor of the entire classroom. You had the attention of everyone in your class to tell a story about what you brought and why you brought it in. Even if your classmates didn't care about what you had or what you were saying, they were forced to listen. But the important part was, you all shared the experience together. All of these stories were now a part of the class. And when a week later someone says, Jimmy's box turtle was really cool, everyone at lunch can agree or disagree because they were all there together. They saw it, they were there when it happened. Something you'll see me point out over and over is the importance of words and language. It's no surprise that social media has become as popular as it has, and it's no mystery why video games have become as addictive as they are. I'm not vilifying either of them, I'm just saying it's the nature of what they are. Social media almost exactly mimics our kindergarten desires of social acceptance on the playground. The dangerous part is, where in kindergarten it was a vaguely known social order, Facebook has found a way to place exact numbers on popularity and acceptance. Just think about the language they use. The people you choose to follow or follow you are referred to as friends on your friends list, some of which are acquaintances at best, or those that simply monitor the posts you have are called followers, making you the leader. Every time this number goes up, it's considered gaining friends or followers, gaining on your competition, your other friends, giving you a number by which you can compare each other. I've got 427 friends on Facebook. Oh wow, I only have 137. Well, something must be wrong with me. Every post that you make mimics show and tell. You have the attention of the classroom because Facebook will put that post on their feed. And unknowingly, they scroll by and they read it, whether they really want to or not, and they can choose to scroll past, or they can acknowledge what you said by hitting the like button, because who doesn't want to be well liked? Or a step further, they can leave a comment, adding to the conversation, furthering the popularity of your show and tell. Most dangerously, Instagram's acknowledgement system utilizes hearts, and I say this is most dangerous because subconsciously we associate hearts with love. And if we can earn the love from other people by simply posting a picture of ourselves, what makes you think you wouldn't come back and post 1,000 more pictures? But again, the amount of likes and comments are shown with actual numbers. They're attached to your post, which bears your name, your picture, just like the chart in front of the classroom, for the entire class to see. The third and most popular button on every Facebook post is the share button. It appeals to that need of shared experience, that show and tell mentality. It's easier to have a conversation if everyone in the room has seen the same thing. So when a conversation with a coworker or friend comes up outside of the internet and it starts with, hey, did you see that video of that guy? And before they can even finish their sentence, their friend is nodding and finishing it for them. It also appeals to show and tell, as the person sharing claims ownership of being the person exposing you to this new popular thing. Just like in class, we all knew box turtles existed, but we didn't know about Jimmy's box turtle. So by sharing these videos and pictures, you can ask your friends and family, did you see the thing that I shared? Knowing full well that you weren't the only person to share it, and you didn't have anything to do with its creation. But by asking, you're taking ownership and saying, you're welcome. Video games are interesting. In the past few years, they've become extremely efficient at giving gamers a reason to keep coming back. It's not really anything new, it's just more social, and again, it has an exact number for comparison with your friends. My earliest days of gaming were on the original Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES. Most games didn't have a save function, so you basically had to play the game until you ran out of lives or you had to go to bed. Progressing through the levels were kind of like checkpoints. You usually were scored for your work you did up to that point and kind of started fresh in a new level. Most games were relatively linear, one storyline, nothing extra to do other than make it to the next level, ultimately beating bosses, getting to the end. But in the past 30 years, gaming has evolved to be more dependent on social interaction and longevity of play. More specifically, the advent of achievements and trophies. More recently, the ease of sharing those achievements on social media. Modern gaming has a sharp focus on online play. Who doesn't want to hang out with their friends from the comfort of their own home? I get it. It makes sense. Do it all the time. But without even realizing it, even games meant for a single player have managed to become social and competitive as well. Video games, for the most part, are no longer linear. Sure, there are the same points at which certain things should be completed to progress, but most games highlight mechanics that encourage customized gameplay. Things like collecting all the hidden gems, uncovering the entire map, finding the best weapon, and when they're complete, the game gives you an accomplishment or a trophy, along with a point value depending on how difficult it was to complete. These, ladies and gentlemen, are your gold stars. And since you've earned them, why wouldn't you share them with the rest of the class? By adding the option to share these accomplishments on social media, you can double up on the pride of long hours of work by showing friends in hopes they admire your achievements, making it feel like what you just did was worthy of praise and admiration. It's no mistake the words social media and video games choose to utilize. They're meant to elicit a specific and calculated response. At a chemical level, it's all the same hormones that make us feel good. It's easier to have conversations when we all share the same experiences, and who doesn't want to show off their achievements? But the point is to realize that these numbers, how many friends, all the likes, achievement points, they're all fictitious. They're digital fairy dust. It's not real life. Because in real life, you can't rate how much you like someone on a scale of 1 to 10. If someone were to say, prove to me with numbers how much that you love your wife, that's an impossible premise. If you were to list your achievements in gaming on your resume, you would probably never be hired for another job again. The numbers mean nothing. But understanding that the language is deliberate can help break the cycle of addiction and dependence on social media. Now here's the ironic part of all this. I'll be posting this video on social media where it can be liked and shared and commented on, and I'm sitting here wondering, what does that mean?